galamsey, challenge or problem we have.
Before you go to the approach, you see, when Doc was listening, I was writing.
Was
speaking. Sorry, I was listening keenly and I was writing. All that he said, he never mentioned any of the things being foolproof. He said you can.
Yeah, and remove some.
You may.
Yeah, you remove some.
Reduce.
Yeah.
Reduce. These were the words.
Yeah,
so me, this conversation, now it belong for me. The conclusion is that whatever remedial measures you are putting in place, it's not foolproof. It's not foolproof. It's not as if the moringa leaves putting some stones on the condo will make the condo something be.
You're just postponing.
But it is not 100%.
It's not. No, I'm coming. I'm saying that preventive health is better.
Yes,
I get you. But the point I'm making is that, David, so if we can stop whatever we are doing, because David, how many of us will buy sachet water and bottle water for you to go and boil it, for it to settle before you consume? It's not. It's a whole, and David, it's something. It's like when you always say that let's do your fruit juice at home. Fruit to not turn on 5 million. When you move it to 3 days, but you go share with 5 million. To baby, what's that you so fractured then you wait man on the bear 1 year. You get the point I'm talking about. So for me, let's rather reduce the activities that is leading to the poisoning of these things.
The environment.
Exactly.
Because how come what we are inhaling, and we cannot do without inhaling, what we are inhaling in itself is poisonous, it's toxic. And then what we are touching is toxic. What we are eating and drinking are all toxic. And that's why I played that voice from Samuel Okujo to Ablakwa. Play for me, for the benefit of listeners who haven't heard him. This is what they said that they will do when it comes to fighting galamsey under the NDC. Take a listen to Samuel Okujo to Ablakwa.
Reviewed mercury levels at Konongo Zongo.
Yeah.
Manifesto is proposing to ruthlessly end the menace of galamsey, which poses an existential threat. As we speak, Ghana Water Limited have put out statements that at this rate, in the next few years, we'll have to import water. They say the Pra River is gone. The turbidity levels are at a level that does not even allow them to treat water. So as we speak, central western region, parts of Greater Accra, water crisis. Only the NDC manifesto is pledging a ruthless combating of this menace, which poses an existential threat. Clearly, when you listen to the Western Regional Minister, you listen to MPP parliamentary candidates and MPP stalwarts, their regional chairman and all of that. They are complicit. They are neck deep. And I listened to Mr. Erastus Donko this morning, and he said that, look, it is the ruling party officials who have just made this fight worthless and useless because they are complicit. They are the real people who are behind the galamsey menace. You need a new government that will come and confront this menace, because it doesn't make sense. A whole government with a national security apparatus. You have DISEX, MISEX, RECSEX, all these security councils, DCs, regional ministers, police commanders.
So question I ask is, are all these people not still available?
The DISEC and the MISEC.
Are they not still available? The regional ministers, the commanders, are they not available? What has changed? He talks about the Pra River. What is the state of the Pra River right now? Have we gotten it to this level where it's really appreciable? He talks about the water threat and challenges. Are the water we are taking, is it safer now? Now they say we should go use moringa and dandelion leaves.
Well, the MPP moringa is also infused with
exactly. So for me, the bottom line is let's end galamsey and stop this bluffing.
When you listen to the expert, with the greatest of respect, the reason why when it comes to galamsey, the conversation becomes charged or emotional for a lot of people is that the moringa slow said that you can use as a remedial measure of a sort. Where is it coming from? Me say about 2 years, me need salad that. You get it. Now when you listen to Okujeto and the others, David, let nobody dare hoodwink anybody and say that Mama is 8 months, they cannot fight galamsey. Let nobody do that. Number 19 of the 120-day social contract the president signed with us was that they would ban illegal mining and mining in forest reserves. That was the promise. That promise have not been achieved. And we should not politicize this and make it seem as if those wanting galamsey to be fixed by John Dramani Mahama are stooges of the MPP. David, see, how many of us, you listen to Dr. Obri just say that, oh, when you boil water at a certain temperature and a certain what? How many of us buy water to boil in this country? How many of us? How many of us do that? Even how many of us can even afford bottled water? David, say me bottled water bo ekonanim. You can't trust sachet water. Typhoid crime and cry another issue. How many of us can eat from this Splash restaurant and co where we believe that maybe they have some greenhouse where they buy their food stuff from? How many of us? Then when we talk about it, people say that the government is not. David, when it comes to a situation that mimics terrorism, because for me galamsey is environmental terrorism. The effect of galamsey has that consequence and doesn't know political color. Nobody goes to the hospital to be treated for malaria and they ask you, are you MPP or you and this? They ask for your hospital card first. Then they run the lab. So the fight about galamsey is the fight for the survival of posterity. You and I, our children and our grandchildren. David, I've worked in these areas before.
That is even if you have the energy to even provide children.
Yes. And David, you see, the last time we were doing the sanitary part 10, we spoke to Ruma, Dr. Kantum, and he told us most of these girls from these areas, they have showing signs of fertility issues. Oba enkebi she mwabobra, doctor ni, lawyer ni, wenyo obo obe wareno, na awo ma. Na eti baby ekobone beyi. So anytime we are discussing some of these social cancer, I always say that let's look at the long-term effect of this. David, in Krabi broker some chromonte kragalam so we come
the long-term and the ripple effects as well.
The insert you played, the guy said that the cadmium, it has an impact on your brain.
Yeah, mental brain development.
Mental brain
development, yes.
The cadmium. Into a crown of so why a salad the man who know the DB near the Okusko wa bon bekumna galamsey. The crime, the teenage pregnancy, the proliferation of arms. The last time we spoke to the Ashanti Regional Security couple, what's the name? Jabari. He said that anytime there's this criminal act, in fact, the Kusasi, this thing that he was trying to, they were linking it to some of the proliferations when they come to the mining areas. And I was so disappointed in the president. The posture was most worried. You played the coup de choice voice here. This one year. Mm-hmm. Musek is involved. Police officers are involved. It's swapped.
Yeah.
So I'm swap. MPP phone no room. They send this phone here.
So what is happening?
Some just said they can fix galamsey. So let nobody who drink anybody and try to do
Isn't it disturbing that during the president's response to the activation or declaration of a state of emergency is that we're not there yet.
Yeah.
He should tell me when will we be there. What is he waiting for to see
when
to hear before we get there? This LI 2462 was a debate. Why is it still? It's still.
Anytime the LI comes, something interesting happened, and I always tell David this: when they pass the LI 2462, when you call any member of parliament, they pretend as if the thing is new. Listen, you see, when a country's destiny is being hijacked, and when people do this organized flag and attack, the reason I don't. Sometimes I have strong words for them is that they are so myopic in thought that they don't even read between the lines. Leo, which sensible parliament, let me use that word, will sit and say that we have okayed for a president to allow mining in forest reserve? Later, when Erastus and Co. through a richer Ghana, that Robonsu, Erastus and other active, and we found out that, oh, this is what the Kufuor government have done. When you call them, what did they say? Oh, we don't even know this. We will revoke it. We will do that. We will do that. Just like E-Levy. If E-Levy was okay, why was even the vice president trying to promise that they will revoke it after 2 years? Why? Why was Bawumia promising to revoke the LI 246 to that you are defending? It clearly tells you that our parliament was not sensible on that day that they were discussing that policy. And they gave the executive power to the president to say that go into our forest reserves
and tear it down.
For gold. Yet when you call them on radio, they pretend as if they didn't even know it's past because they are complicit.
So they're the ones with Albert Babin, the Speaker of Parliament.
Exactly, and that is my source. Said it. It's only in Ghana that the third powerful gentleman can say publicly that only mempi say galamsey OSP and freno, Yoko and freno, Shraj and freno, nothing on record. I will win in him for say omo MP near galamsey.
And there was an incident which his name was mentioned.
David, many members of parliament.
How many people died in that incident?
So I always say that when it comes to galamsey, you may call some of us names, you may do whatever, but David, you see, when it comes to health, a deep boom near do confanotia, you must have party card. Oma will defend the woman. Ghana pay and here for defend the Scafwa for Ghana pay, and are those who are marginalized, whose destiny are being mortgaged. They defend those perpetuating that evil. When they come, David, I told you I went to Rock City. I'll say this. Every single water that was served me, I took a picture to Leo. Where do you say the water is from? Italy, right?
Yeah.
Every single water was from Italy. Every single water.
Oh, but
David, the trajectory of my career.
Hold on. I can also say to an authority that most of our politicians don't drink water from Ghana. They import the water they drink.
In a certain V8 from a certain town to a certain town. Every single thing we were marching on, is it the English you want to do? Marching on. I say, yeah, the boy I'm also kakrano. Was imported. Marching or whatever. The water, I sent the picture to Lulio, confirms from Italy. But bit man so do be able defend the galamsey because or MPP near this you see even Rollins ne Kufuor do MPP buy no. That is what upsets me the most when I come to galamsey. The hypocrisy.
Yeah.
People who stood against this in the Kufuor time today, you when you open the phone and you hear them give you lavish English, salads, try to romanticize the act as if it's normal. David, me say every single water you shouldn't near the royals. I don't hear Ghana the Nibia. So they have access to money to buy these things. Yeah. They have access to the best healthcare. Recently, when people wanted to do politics and they leak Bagway's health routine, so won't be. Or could buy on any echo. None a house will no matter per diem. We give salary Italian too, and should defend the NDC for because what banner also on your galamsey to be defended. That is the sad part of our country.
That's annoying, but listen, if you